All right. What is up, everybody? So, welcome again to another episode. We're on to 4 since the last one was like 3.5. So yeah, we're welcome to Sculpting the Uncanny with me. We're gonna try to go through my head sculpts and start sculpting some stuff. And if you have questions about what I do, or if you want to see anything, let me know, and I'd be glad to just kind of stop and talk about it and show the way it works. So at any point, feel free to comment. And if you're watching the replays, still feel free to comment. If you have questions about something, I can still later on talk to you about it. So join me as we go through this. Today, we're going to continue with the Inferno sculpt. We're almost done with this one. I just printed it out. I have a couple different versions here. I finally printed one that I think is a good size. Let me turn this light on real quick. There we go. So I think this is a pretty good size for the Mezco figures. This is kind of a look at the old one I had, and this is the new one. I wanted it to be a little bit bigger. This one was just too small. So yeah, we have that, and then I also have the one I made way too big, which is this is like a 25 millimeter one. It's cool though, but yeah, I noticed a bunch of things I need to change, which let me get the other one. So with this, you can kind of see the teeth. The teeth are very small, very thin, and these ones, if you can tell, they're a little bit more bulked up. Come on, focus. Not on me. Yeah, they're just a little bit more bulked up, and that made it a lot better because it's kind of hard to tell in here, but down here you kind of lose the teeth in this section, and as well as the ones in the front, kind of poking up here. The ones on the smaller version, bam, you can already see that way better. They're pushed out a little bit more, just have a little more detail to them, and just more positive to negative change. So those definitely helped out a lot more. But what we need to do now is where we left off previously with creating the smoke effect / flame effect that I like for I wanted to bring out from the sides of the mouse. So kind of like Charizard X or Mega Charizard X, and then you got what's it called? Now it's pretty. Death Adder. Death Adder had the little cigarettes smoke coming off the side. Kind of had that open mouth, open a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and try to do that with our sculpt today. So let's get that going here. I already wrote down what I needed for the sizing and stuff. I generally recommend going like a 0.2 millimeter more than what it actually is. So if you change, if what it is a 1.5, then bump it up to a 1.7, and you should get a better. The peg hole should be 1.7. The peg should be 1.5. That way, when you print it out, it'll get a little bit smaller, and it should fit a little bit better. So let's see here. Okay. Make sure I get all my notes. Need that, and then yeah, we don't need a smoke effect. We do need a smoke effect. So for reference, I'm gonna pull out the little smoke effect that I have. Hard to tell for you guys to see, but just for my own reference to see. We're gonna throw that sucker on here. So let's work with this is gonna be on the closed mouth one. So we're gonna work from here. Open this up. Why am I still seeing another one? I shouldn't be able to see that one. It's alright though. That's fine. Okay. So I'm gonna duplicate it so I don't work off the same one, so that way I still have it. Then let's bring this one up and out. Actually, it doesn't need to be up and out, but let's rename it at least so I don't mix them up. We can just do snarling face. Okay. And then let's add in the cylinder for what the peg is, which we can go here to scale it. First, always set the scene scale. And then, so this R is going to turn so they lock the ratio. So if I type in 44 on the first one, or 45, it turns all of them to 45, keeps the right ratio. If you turn that off, you only want to select one to only move one in a certain way. You can turn that off, do that. And also careful with having all on. If you need it, it helps with scaling one thing and then everything else is scaled to it. But if you have it on, everything gets changed. So if you don't want everything, you only want one piece, which right now I just want one piece. I need to make sure I take off the all. So for now, we're going to take that off. We want, this is going to be the actual peg itself, which we want 15 millimeters. So putting that in there. That is still too small. Oh, you know what it was? Is because when I went to here, that's when it was. No, that doesn't seem right. No, let me see here. No, no, not 15 millimeters. I'm stupid. 1.5 millimeters. I was like, that's like way too big. That is not correct. So 1.5 is what we need. So 1.5 millimeters. All right. Let's turn that side. And then this is going to be around here. Yeah. Be like that. All right, so let's append another sphere. Sphere we can bring down. This is going to be the actual smoke itself. The other part was the peg, which I think, let me measure the peg real quick for how long it is. Nice to know that. About 4 millimeters. All right, so 4. Kind of dynamic solo. I moved a little bit so I know specifically quicker which one is the correct one. So let's turn off the ratio. We don't want that. Okay. Bam, resize. Okay, so now it's 4 millimeters by a 1.5 diameter. So that's exactly what we needed here. And then dynamic solo back off. Okay. All right, let's put that here. Bam, there. Okay, now we can start manipulating it. I think a snake hook tool is the best way to use it. Let's get it up and out. Not that way. There we go. So when you start getting these, starts tessellating and not in the right way you want it to be, that's when you want to come back in here, dynamesh it, and so you can get something you can manipulate a little bit more, either get more or more even topology. Right now this is a little too slow, but we can divide that. And let's see here. Let's inflate this area a little bit more. PMV. Let's bring this down. Let's go back to snake hook tool. Alright, there we go. Now we got some smoke going here. Let me kind of turn it away from the face just a little bit more. It's a little bit better. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at this thing. Kind of trails away a bit and then comes back in. Let's kind of do that. Let's snake hook it one more time. There we go. Inflate this area. Bam. Actually, I gotta make sure I'm not making it too small. Okay. Alright, now let's redynamesh it. Divide it one more time. There we go. That's looking better. Trying to get a look at it at all different angles. It's not too bad. Bring this in a little bit more. Okay. You know what? Let me not use my mouse because I can just hear it sit there and hear it clicking. So I'm sure that's probably annoying for you guys. So. Okay, let's go with trying to create the way it kind of folds a little bit. Go with the flow. Let's go here. You know what, let's not do this one. Let's do... There's a better one for this one. I think it's... Or curve. Okay, let's do the curve. Let's bring down the intensity. You know what, I need to divide it. I think this thing might be better if we zero mesh it. That way the flow of the topology is a little bit better and we might get some better output from it. There we go. Kind of see a little bit, looking a little bit better here. Okay, let's divide. Let's see here. Let's dynamic solo this sucker. bring it around actually. So it looks like it's kind of swirling. And then I think I should throw my lazy mouse on a little bit too. Oops, no, hold on. Okay, let's follow that. Bring it over. Finished up like that. There we go. Okay. And then since that's starting there, we can give it another one here. Let's restart this one. Let's go from here and bring it down. There we go. I mean, there's not much craziness to these things. Just try and push it as much as possible. Let's bring up the intensity a little bit here. There we go. Okay. Let me take a look. I mean, it's looking okay right now. Still needs some more fleshing out, but let's take a look at how it's gonna look. I think I'll have it kind of tilted a little bit more. That way it's not so straight. The peg won't be too straight. It'll be going this way instead of this way. I think I should have it coming out this way. It's not horrible though, it's just a good start. Alright, let's see. Pinch tool. I'd say it's after using the orb crack tool, it's good to kind of throw in the pinching toward the edges if you're trying to get that look right there. Let's see, BCB, nope. Just change it to our softer alpha. I'm just gonna bump this up a little bit. Actually, let's do inflate. A little too destructive. I think the standard brush might be the way to go. I might have to like refix this thing up a little bit more. Let's zero mesh it. There we go. That's looking much better for topology wise. Divide it up. Yeah, smash that like button like a Smash Lab Creations just said. Smash that shit. Thanks, Chris. Alright, let's see here. Let's bring out this side a little bit more. Let's do, I think the clay buildup tool might be the best one for this. I'm just gonna bring it a little bit out here. There we go. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm using the wrong curve. Yeah, I need the curve. Zero mesh that again. Okay. That's like I don't know. I always hate starting things because I never get them the way I like them. It's not until after I stop and take a second to look at it, come back to it later and be like, okay, let me do this a little bit to it, let me do that a little bit to it, and then it's like, okay, now I got something I'm actually liking. I tend to do that very often. I'm like not liking what I'm seeing, and come back to it later, do a couple things to it, I'm like, bam, okay, I like that. All right, let's give it a second before it probably dies on me. Just wait for it. Hopefully it doesn't die. Please. Trying to stream and do ZBrush takes a lot out of my laptop, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully it does. It makes it okay. In the meantime, if you haven't seen them already on my Instagram, Uncanny_sculpts, I have these Bane heads available for sale. They're $35 plus shipping in the US, which is like $5. So it comes out to about $40. They're just started kind of doing them, but they're nice. They have a little black wash over the whites. There's a dark blue dry brush over top of the black, and silver in the back here. And this has a port, so you can plug any of the wires you want into them. When I made this originally, I had the Storm Collectibles and Justice Bane in mind, so there's a tube that's hanging down the back and on his head. So I cut a piece of that hanging tube on the back and used that for the headpiece as well. So that fits in there just as fine. So if you're interested in getting one of these, just hit me up on Instagram, and we can talk about how we go about that. Yeah, so that's another way to help support me. And then I'll probably have, since I have some of the colors already, I'll probably be starting to do some Inferno Sculpt paint pieces. So see those probably soon. the other thing is Patreon. So my Patreon, if you go to patreon.com/uncannysculpts, I believe it's all one word. I do 7 digital files for $20. That allows you to print them out as you please, sell those printed files. Don't sell the digital files. We're going to have an issue if you do. And they're ranging from older head sculpts, like stuff I've already had previously released, to newer stuff that I'm just now putting out, and including like props, head sculpts, stuff like that. And when you get a head sculpt like Scarecrow, who has the hat and the head, you're getting both at the same time. Right now, this month, which is about to end in a couple days, by Friday is the last day, you get the Scarecrow, the modern Scarecrow. You get, which is this awesome guy with a cool looking witch hat. I love this one. So you get that one. You get the door handle with the key part. And then you get the AC unit for those outside dioramas. You also get the 2 new expressions that I've created with the bald head, so that way you can throw them in with your pink skulls if you wanted to, since these have the eyes inside of them. So we have the mad dog looking one, and then the crazy eye one. So I kind of accentuated the original expression I had. And then we have the Godspeed. Godspeed was the other one that I worked on with Chris. I kind of wanted to make a quick one that was my own style. So we pieced that together, and it looks cool. I'm digging it. I don't have a Godspeed body in mind at the moment, or just custom in mind. But you can fit them on the McFarlane ones. You can do Marvel Legends for that one, Mezco, whatever you want to do. So yeah, those 7 are in there. And then also the next month, I'm going to be changing things up a little bit. I think we're going to be turning into, we're going to have 2 different tiers. So there's going to be a $10 tier that's going to get you 3 sculpts of the 7, and then the $20 one is still going to be the 7 sculpts. So you'll still see, so if you don't want to pay as much, but you still get some of them, there will be 3 that are available out of the 7, and then the 7 you get everything. I still need to name the tiers, but right now the killer tier is the $20 one. I'll name the $10 one. So yeah, that's coming next month, so keep an eye on that. I have not yet gone through which ones we're going to be releasing for next month. I'll have that coming up in about tomorrow probably, because I'm going to be doing that tonight. So, I mean, if you have a sculpt that you really want and you want put out there, give me a DM, and we'll see if I can make it work, if make it fit in there for the for one that I've already created, of course, that you're interested in, and we'll see what gets put out there for next month. And so yeah, go check this out. Looks like we're back at this now, so let's take a look. It's not looking bad. Definitely okay for a smoke. Smoking a pancake. Alright, let's see here. Whoops. PPC. My brushes are a little bit different in this, as far as like the shortcut keys that I use. That's why I keep getting mixed up, because at work they're the normal ones, but here, because I have so many different other brushes, they re-jumble them up, so I have to figure out, 'cause normally it's BCB for clay buildup brush, but because it got changed around for this chain brush that I have, it's now BCA. So just something to be aware of if you're looking at my screen and trying to figure that out. So let's take snake hook one more time. Kind of play with that a little bit. Say it's not horrible. It looks good from this angle, but down here it needs some work. It needs a band right here. So let's go into the over cracks. And let's give that, oops, bring down the intensity. Cool. Alright, let's take a look at it. Yeah, let's bring it together here so we can kind of manipulate it. So what I'm doing, what I was just doing right now is making sure I auto group it, or grouping it so that it's all one single poly group, to which you just do that by holding Control W, and everything that's highlighted will now turn one single poly group. So I make sure they're all the separate ones, so now when I bring them together, I merge, they're in one single subtool to mess with, but I can easily stop and see a specific one by holding Control Shift, and so that way it's still there. And I can separate it if I wanted to by split hidden, stuff like that. So it's a good good tool to use. Okay, so let's turn this a little bit more. Let's bring it in like that. And then this we're gonna bring up. Wait, what just happened? Of course, of course. So I was selecting the other one. Whatever. So I'm just gonna rename it because it's the same thing. So snarling face. Then this one is standard face. Okay, now let's take a look at it with the smoke in there. Okay, I can bring this down a little bit more. It doesn't need to be so crazy. Good thing I didn't forget to turn off the symmetry because we're going to need to do it for the other side anyways. Let's see here. This needs to come down. Let's bring this a little bit more in. Let's turn this into a boolean just so we can see how it's looking. Turn off transparency, turn off that. My boolean. Okay, so that's what's going to be hitting right there. Then the teeth are not in there at the moment. This is going to turn everything else on. I don't want that. Okay, that's fine for now. As long as we got most of the gums in there. Okay, so snarling face, perfect, okay. Okay, now let's go to here. Bring it back to regular. Now for this, I'm going to you know what? Let's see here. I gotta get it to be straight again. See, I shouldn't have moved it yet until I made another one that was the peg, because now I need it perfectly straight so I can get that, make it 1.7, but I think we can make it work. So we're gonna go into Skill Master. That's 1.5, yeah, so that's pretty much fine. Why is it not updating? What the hell? Let's go 3D Print Hub, update size ratio. There we go. Let's go back to Scale Master. Oh, that's weird. Whatever. I'm just gonna do turn ratio back on. Do it one more time. See if that makes a difference. Nope, still not, but whatever. Try 1.7. Oh, you know what it was? It's because I didn't have it split from the other thing, so that's why it's still seeing that. So let's cancel that. So if I was to control it, yeah, so it's still there. So I need to split hidden, and then from here, let's delete this. You can also go to geometry, topology, modify topology, and then hit delete hidden. That's another one to do it. So it's just two different ways. All right, so now we are fine. I spoke too soon. Yeah, we have everything. What the hell? Why does it not want to do it? That's annoying. Yeah, see, it's not going to do it correctly. That's annoying. I don't know why he's doing that, but I'll mess with that later. So basically, I'll just have to kind of redo that peg. For the time being, let's focus on this fire effect. I feel like it can kind of build out a little bit more toward the base. Let's bring that in a little bit more. Just be a little bit thicker toward the base of it. Let's see here. Turn this on. Oh, no, not the open mouth one. Turn this one on. Turn that off. That way we can see everything. Alright, so that's not bad. We can give it some color a little bit here. I mean, it doesn't matter too much that it's smoke. It's going to have the same look anyways. It's going to be smoke for now, and then I'm going to do another one that's fire. It should plug in the same. Or you can just paint it fire with some red clear resin. I think I need it to go a little bit more. Let's do pen tool. Let's lasso this area so we don't take from the base, and we're going to mask it so it's not a straight line, or blur it so it's a little bit more. Okay, now we can kind of finagle it a little bit. Let's see here, BMV. This might be a little too destructive. Bring this up a little bit more. Let's fill that up a little bit. Yeah, okay. Oh, and then here, I think I kind of want this to be, I want this to merge. B. Alright, that's looking better. Cool. Alright, that's okay. We'll leave that there. So, if you're using ZBrush and you want things to combine, there was a way I was doing it a long time ago with dynameshing and making sure the moon shape, all these things, it booleans it out with it. But when you start getting so much topology and then you go and dynamesh it, it has to compute all of that again, and sometimes it takes away from the details you want. What I found through Smartest, he showed a way of doing it. When you create a folder, everything in that folder that is visible, as I have seen here, if let's see. Let me change that back on. So anything visible, and if you hit this gear icon and you hit Boolean with dynamic subdivision, everything becomes a one solid piece. That if it's merging, it's now one solid piece, and the topology doesn't really change. So you can have something that's super low poly with something high poly, and you put them next to each other, and at the meeting area is where you'll see the change, but just very tiny, and it does not distort the details at all, which is fantastic. So if you want to be able to merge and Boolean out things, that is the best way to do so. So I would definitely check that out if you're trying to mess with that stuff. So let's see here. So you can kind of see dynamic solo this. Because I only had this the snarling face, the first tooth, and the tongue in there. That's all there was in there. That and the smoke effect. So when I Boolean it out, it created the hole, and we're good to go. Still kept the topology. You can kind of see here. So this is the topology of that peg, which was very basic topology, and then it gets to the more finer details of it. And look how crazy that is. The change is perfect. Dynamic subdivision is the way to go with that to Boolean stuff. Helps keep it a much better topology, and you don't have to go crazy in dynameshing it, because when you dynamesh it, you're gonna start running into the fact of you're gonna run into so high of topology versus these small areas, and you're not gonna have these nice crisp merge points. So I definitely recommend this way for sure. So I don't need this for now. Let's delete that. That was just for show. Let's bring this back on. Let's see here. Let me kind of mess with this a little bit here. Make it a little bit more prettier. You'll be able to see that one anyways, but still, I just wanted to put that in there. Okay. This isn't too bad. So let's kind of show the other thing I have. Not have, but what I did was when I created and it's the same thing with the Boolean with dynamic subdivision, creating the peg hole area, to which I took, let's see, where is it at? So I have this one here. It was a sphere that I simply went halfway through, masked it, and just moved up just this piece here to create this kind of cylindrical with a curved top. I recommend the spherical top rather than a cylindrical top. It's because, like with the Bane ones, I noticed there's a line around the head. If you have a cylindrical, if it's spherical, you won't have that issue, because it kind of, when it prints, it builds up on itself a little bit better. So go with that. The other thing is I see is a kind of a norm where it's 12 millimeters for most heads. So do like 12.2 millimeters for the peg size, head peg size, and that's your best to start with. That's pretty much what I did here for these ones. For the open mouth one, I have it kind of curved, which you can see here. So it's added a curve, just that way it sits a little bit better when it's on the actual head. because this is the open mouth. It kind of, the way it's open, the way it's kind of looking straight isn't as what it used to be anymore. So otherwise it would be always like this. So it's best to have it straight like this. Oh, you know what? I'm stupid. Let me come full screen. Yeah. So it's best to have it like that, position like that. Otherwise it would be too much like this. And he's going to be already looking down too much in the chin. So, I always forget I have this full screen thing. I'm still getting used to this. I'm seeing my own screen. I forget when it's the usual stuff that's tiny and it's in this area. So my apologies for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the way this Inferno is going, it might be done pretty soon here. That this may go up on my Patreon. So keep an eye on that one. I think this one is looking good. I think this is ready. At least I'll probably have the open mouth version because I think that one's like the best and ready to go. I'll have that one probably on there. So keep an eye on that. That might be on one of those. So other than that, I mean, I'm going to be closing out here. So other than Patreon, we have my Etsy, which I'm kind of jumping ship from. I'm kind of tired of the Etsy fees and stuff like that. So if you're interested in Sculpt, I'd prefer you just hit me up on Instagram directly. And we can get that taken care of. But if you wanted to use the Etsy to kind of search what I'm looking at or what I have to offer, which is quite a few different sculpts that I print myself and sculpt myself. They're all about $15 unpainted. And so I have a bunch of them on there. So it's etsy.com/uncanny sculpts. So you can find me, check me out there. And then Instagram, uncanny_sculpts, as I mentioned before. That's where I mainly post. So if you want to know what I'm on, that's the easiest way to get a hold of me. Just DM me there. And on YouTube, we're gonna be trying to do these Wednesdays, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then on Sundays as well, same time, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. There might be a time I don't do it if things happen. We never know if I'm gone the whole weekend or not. But I'll try to be in touch as much as possible. I'm trying to make it to where they're going to be constantly happening, so that way we get into a better of a groove, get things going here. But yeah, that's it. Please, if you have questions, I would love to hear from you guys. I want to engage with you guys as much as possible. So feel free to hit me up. Let's talk. We can talk action figures. I am definitely super excited for that Cosmic Legion stuff. So I've got stuff to show for that. That reminds me. So I have one last thing to kind of show off. I think Too Crazy, I posted on my Instagram the Koa Warloth turnaround that I did. I now have a third version of him. So I had the standard mouth closed, and I had the mouth open and with an angry expression. Now I have a battle damage version. So a puffy eye, a broken tooth, a couple scratches here and there, some pretty good damage to him. I'm just going to try to pull up the turnaround video I have that I saved on my Google Drive. Let's see here. Let me download this thing first. Then that way I can show you. Because I'm digging this one. It's pretty cool. It started off as like a shark monster, and then I was like, let me throw some cyborg stuff in the back. And then I printed out. Detail wasn't coming out so much for like some of the back stuff, so I had to pump it up. And I wanted to kind of redo it anyways to kind of show off the to do the expressions. I had to redo the mouth because it was sealed Always when you're sculpting something, I would definitely recommend kind of having a half open mouth, so that way you can go in between you can bring it to close, or you can open it wider if you want a wider mouth. It's, as you saw when I was working on Inferno, that's what I did. It was kind of an open mouth. Come on, load, you little sucker. It's trying. My little computer, it's trying its best. It's okay. It's okay, baby. Come on. Let's show the people what you're made of. Jesus Christ.
Really?
Alright, well, that's not going to be working right now, so. But yeah, so that's all. So, alright, thank you guys.